What's up, y'all? Let's go to the movies. Oh. Okay, no, we'll go around. We're in the middle of a flash flood warning. Wait, what is this? They have karate and is that like gymnastics or dance or something? Cool. Every time I come out here, it's flash flood warning. I've decided this is going to be my regular AMC Screen Unseen spot. Oh, we're doing AMC Screen Unseen, a mystery movie. All right, let's talk about it. So that was One Life, directed by James Hawes, stars Anthony Hopkins, Lena Olin, Johnny Flynn, and Helena Bonham Carter. So this is based on a true story about Nicholas Winton. Nicholas Winton organized the Kindertransport, which was the transport of children by train from Prague to the UK. And this happened right on the eve of the Nazi invasion of Czechoslovakia. The story structure is very interesting. It's one large flashback, but it's also two separate stories running parallel. You have Nicholas Winton as an old man, played by Anthony Hopkins, in a way reminiscing about what he went through during that time. As he's, getting rid of clutter in his home, and he comes across a briefcase. This briefcase, we later find out, holds a scrapbook of, documents and memories that he collected during the time of this Kindertransport. But we also see the Kindertransport in action. A young Nicholas Winton, stockbroker in England, who decides he has to help. He can't just sit back and watch this thing happen and not do anything. So he ends up going to Prague in an effort to help with paperwork. Ends up seeing a bunch of children in destitute conditions and says, we have to get these children out. And he does it. Thousands of children in need of rescue. He was only able to save 669. And that sounds crazy to say only 669. That's a very large number. But for him, it wasn't enough. You could tell he felt like he fell short. At least that's how it was portrayed. This movie is really about the story, getting the story out there and getting people involved. As an old man, he's wanting to share this story and educate people on what happened. And as a young man, he's wanting to get this story out there so he can get people involved. Because these children, they need money to get there and then hopefully eventually get back to Prague to be with their families. Most of them were not able to, if not all of them. They need visas. They need foster homes. It's such a beautiful story. Most of you have probably heard about it or at least seen something on YouTube about a man who's sitting in an audience, not realizing that he's sitting amongst people who were alive because of what he did. He had a lot of help. He definitely had help, but he had to push for that help and he had to push for that idea. And it's such a beautiful testimony and such a beautiful example of how one person, one single ordinary human being can do something incredible because he saved generations. Anyways, about the movie. Every time I see Anthony Hopkins, I get really sad because he's getting older. And I want him to be around forever. He's such an incredible gift. This is some of the best acting I've seen in a long time. I mean, you have Helena Bonham Carter, who is such a lady. I swear, if she ever walked into the room, I feel like I would have to curtsy. Like that would be the appropriate response to being in her presence. But she's an incredible actress. And then Anthony Hopkins, who is wonderful. Alex Sharp is also in this. He was in a movie called Living last year. Living was nominated for at least one Academy Award, if I remember correctly. Great movie. And so you have some powerhouse acting in this movie, incredible performances, and it's necessary because the visuals here are very subdued because we're going off of the memory of a man who doesn't want to quite really sit in it and remember it. He's still struggling with the fact that he didn't do all that he wanted to do, and now he's being confronted with the greatness that he did. So we get we're not getting as many visuals here. So we're really relying on the emotions of these actors to really tell the story. And they kill it. They sell it. They do such a great job. This was such a good movie. The music, my God, hold on. Who was the composer? I can't pronounce his name. He's German, but he did the music for All Quiet on the Western Front. If you know, you know. The music is just stunning. There were great moments of tension in this film, and I think a lot of that tension just comes from our own personal knowledge of the Holocaust. The evil atrocities committed by human beings. We all know what the Holocaust was. We all know who Hitler was and what he did, and we all know what happened to those people. And seeing it, portrayed on screen, even in cinematic form, it brings about a sense of anxiety when you see certain moments happening. These children being transported by train, the train stopping, and Gestapo, stepping on the train. And what happens with Gestapo and trains. And so you're wondering and you're waiting to see what happens next. Not so much being anxious about the moment, but knowing what could come after. I felt like it was brilliant, really letting us kind of sit in what we already know and then giving us new information. But Anthony Hopkins was just brilliant. He's brilliant. He's amazing. He's incredible. He is just such a natural. He always seems to just give very natural performance, like you're sitting in a living room with him and you're just talking to him. James Hawes, he's a British director. This is his directorial debut. Congratulations, my guy. What an incredible work of art. I love British cinematography, though. British films in general tend to focus on very minute details with respect to the face. I just love that. I don't know why. The movie that I saw last year, Living, I don't know, it was something about the lighting and the close-ups. You could really see the blue in people's eyes. There's something about British cinematography and British films in general where they just really hone in and pay attention to those little details. It's beautiful to me. This movie premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival last September. It's getting a limited release starting on March 15th. So see it when you can. But yeah, no, loved that. That was great. That was fantastic. I cried.